So I've been following a case that happened back in 2022. Stock market was really hot back then. This is back in the days of Wall Street bets, GameStop, a lot of trading on Reddit. It was a really exciting time. Group of guys called the Atlas Group, led by a guy named Zach Morris. Young guys, 20s and 30s, all across the country. They started taking positions in very illiquid, lightly traded companies. Sometimes they'd buy them up over days, weeks, if not months. They would get a position that they wanted to accumulate, and then they would go out to their massive social media following. So between these 8 guys, they had huge followings on Twitter, on Discord. They had their own podcast, Facebook, different areas, Reddit channels. So they had a lot of influence. Once they had that position, then they would go out and they would start telling people to buy it. Now, they didn't tell people that they had a position or that they were going to sell the stock. Now, this is in a time, again, Wall Street bets, GameStop, really exciting time in the market. A lot of these stocks were getting picked up on scanners, and day traders were coming in and starting to really buy these stocks up and trade them heavily. Low flow companies, no sellers in the deal to speak of right away. They wouldn't sell the stocks right away. They would let the volume come in and they would let the chart really start to build. Then they would offload their stock to the public without telling them. This is a group of guys that made tens of millions of dollars, and when the promotion stopped, the bottom would fall out of these companies and the stocks would essentially go to zero. So in 2022, they were arrested by the Department of Justice, charged by the SEC, $100 million securities fraud, facing decades in prison. Everybody thought that they were going to trial. Just 2 weeks ago, a federal judge in Texas came out and he dismissed the case. Now, what he said was, although these people may have omitted some information to their internet followers, they didn't actually take any property from them. And there was enough information available on these companies publicly where the people could have gone out and done their homework. So as a result of this, $100 million securities fraud, case dismissed, and now these guys from the Atlas Group are already building up their social networks again. They're already preparing to start going out and pumping more companies in the market. And one of the members of the Atlas Group actually did his first pump this week, which I'll be talking more about later next week. So, it's a really interesting case where these guys look like they've got away with $100 million securities fraud, and they're back at it doing it again. So we'll have more information about these guys, but I'll put some information down in the link below. Zach Morris, Atlas Trading Group, case dismissed on $100 million securities fraud.